Hello friends, in this lecture we're going to create the HUD. Okay, so we're going to create a widget blueprint called the HUD that is going to display some information for us on the screen. We're going to display the player's hit points, the current level index, and also the number of diamonds we collected so far. To do this, first we're going to create a C++ class, and then we're going to create a widget blueprint that derives from that C++ class. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to create the new class. This is going to inherit from user widget, this one right here, and we're going to call this player HUD, just like that. So first of all, we're going to create text blocks for each type of information we're going to display. One for the level, one for hit points, and one for diamonds. I'm going to include the text blocked header, which is going to be components/text block.h, and then we're going to create 3 of these. These are going to be uProperty, edit anywhere, and meta equals bind widget. This is very important because this is going to allow us to bind these widgets we have inside of C++ to the ones we have inside of the widget blueprints. So it is very important that you add this here. This is going to be a uText block pointer. First one will be HP text for hit points text. And then we're just going to copy and paste this 2 more times. The second one is going to be, diamonds text. And then the last one is going to be level text. We're also going to create 3 different functions so that we can modify these text blocks. These are going to be void set HP new HP, void set diamonds integer amount, and then void set level integer index. So these are going to take in these arguments, and then they will set the corresponding text components text using these, the new values. Okay, let's go ahead and create these functions inside of the C++ file. Like that, and then we're going to implement these. These functions, like I said, are going to change the corresponding text blocks text by calling setText, just like that. First of all, we're going to create a string that is going to look like this. For example, for HP, it will be HP equals 100. We need to create this string from this argument and then use it to set the text. And doing this for all of these functions is going to be your challenge. So please go ahead and write these functions. Like I said, you need to first create the string from the argument and then set the text. Give it a shot and come back when you're done. Okay, so first of all, we're going to create an f string called str. We're going to use f-string printf to create this string, and the format is going to be hp equals %d, so that we can place an integer inside of the string, and then we're going to use new hp for that integer, just like that. And then we're going to call ftext from string and then pass str to this, because setText here is expecting an ftext. So we're simply going to create one using the string. And then we can simply copy and paste these here and here as well. And we're simply going to change the argument and the text here to say diamonds in this case. We're also going to change this one, diamonds text. And for this one, we're going to change this one to index, the string to say level, and then we're going to change the level text. So that is the challenge. We're going to use these functions to update what the HUD is displaying. These functions will be called from the player whenever there's a change. When we take a hit, when the hit points change, we're going to call this function to update it. When we collect a diamond, we're going to call this one, for example. And when we change levels, we're going to call this one. Before we do that though, we're going to create the widget blueprint in Unreal and design the UI. So let's go ahead and exit out of Unreal. and rebuild. So let's go ahead and create a widget blueprint from this class. Inside of the characters folder, we're going to right click, create a new widget blueprint. Let's do a search for player HUD. We're going to select it. I'm going to call this widget BP underscore player HUD. Just like that. Let's open it up. Here it is. As you can see, it's currently empty and we don't have any of the text blocks we created in C++. And that's because we first have to create them here. And because of that meta bind widget thing we added, these are going to be connected. So first of all, we're going to go down and inside of the panel, we're going to create a canvas panel. So let's drag this into the hierarchy. And then we're going to create 3 different text blocks. Bring in 3 different text blocks. And then we're going to name these according to the ones we created in C++. So this first one is going to be HB text. The second one is going to be diamonds text. And the last one is going to be level text. Just like that. I'm going to select all of these and then anchor them to the top right because I will place all of them there. I'm going to reset their offset left. And then I'm going to set the X of their alignment to be 1. I'm also going to go into the font settings. I'm going to set the font to be Droid Sans Mono. This is going to look nicer, in my opinion at least. And then I'm going to increase the size to be 45. Just like that. And now we're going to modify them individually. So let's take the hit points text. Let's change the text to say HB equals 9999. And then we're going to bring all of these apart a little so that we can see them. And I'm going to change the size of this so that it actually, fits. And then we're going to set up the diamonds text here, which is going to say diamonds equals 9999, just like that. We need to make this larger. Let's actually set the position X to be 0. I'm going to also bring this one to the same level as this one. And finally, let's also set up this one. This is going to say level equals 9999. We can actually set the Y positions of these to a value that makes sense. So for example, for HP, let's set the Y position to be 15. And for diamonds, maybe send 5. And then for level, 125. Maybe a little bit more for the level. Just like that. Okay. I think that looks fine. I'm also going to change the colors. For HB, we're going to make this a reddish color. Something like that. For diamonds, we'll use a blue. Like that. And for the level, we'll just use a green. To make it look a little bit nicer. Yep, just like that. So that's going to be the HUD. Feel free to use a different, design if you don't like this one. We're going to compile it. And the next step is going to be using this inside of the player, but we're going to do that in the next lecture. So let's do a recap. In this one, we created a new class that inherits from user widget. This is called the player HUD. Inside of here, we created 3 different text blocks. And we used the bind widget meta here so that we can connect these inside of the blueprint widget. We also created 3 functions inside of the C++ file here so that we can change the text components of these text blocks. Then inside of Unreal, we created a widget blueprint that inherits from this class, and we designed the UI. We also created all the text blocks that are going to be connected to the ones we have in C++.